There's one other person I put in front of Tom Brady, and it's for the same reason I put Jordan right in front of Tom Brady. Is they attempted to prove that they're not just the greatest at their sport, but at another, and that's Deion Sanders.
Ah, you know what it is. Hey, you know what we do. Hey, it's What Up Doe, the What Up Doe, the What Up Doe Show. Yo, yo, what up, Doe? It's the What Up Doe Show. I'm your boy OG Tim Wilson, and I am here live on a Friday night. It's been a long time coming. I got the nasty boys with me, Big Ed and Wayz. What up, though, fellas?
What up? What up? What up?
Damn,
Ooh-wee.
this motherfucker's so loud.
God
Take the
damn, he was hot
train
out of
away.
nowhere.
I didn't think I was that loud.
Good Lord have mercy. Wayz, what's going on with you, man?
Ah, man, not much. I've been sick all week, so I'm just enjoying the fact that I'm feeling a little bit better.
I'm enjoying the fact that you feel better too, man. He's sick because of Minnesota lost. But yeah, man, it's been a wild week, man, and we haven't done the show in a few weeks. I want to give some birthday shouts out to myself. I gotta give a birthday shout out to my brother Gabe and everybody else that all the Aquarians out there. Big ups to my fellow Aquarians. We gonna get this party started, y'all. Let's do this thing right. Let's go ahead and get this shot up in the air and get this over with. Boom shakalaka. It's the one chief rocker. Keep a microphone inside of my locker.
Cheers.
This nigga talking about cheers after he done coughed up a Smurf. So yo, let's go ahead and get this thing started, man.
All right.
I gotta first and foremost I hate to start on a somber note, but it's gonna be that kind of a night. I don't have a lot of story. It's so much news. I mean, we've been off the air. This has been for 2 weeks. This is 3 weeks. This is week 3. If I wouldn't have did it tonight, we would have been 3 weeks off. So I got so many stories, so much to talk about. I decided to narrow the show down. It's going to be a little more of a serious tone tonight. Just going to hit some big stories and have a short discussion, and have a discussion about those. But first, I want to give up a big rest in peace to the homie Carl Mitchell, good friend of mine. Well, sometimes you got those neighborhood gangsters that look out for you, so you got love for them. And that's Carl Mitchell. Carl Mitchell, and I got nothing but love for him. He used to call me little bro. So yo, big bro, man, you rest up, bro. You're gonna be missed, man. That's real talk. So one time I'm gonna take a little sip of my beer for you, Carl. Mm. Yeah. So I'm gonna start it off with a story that is absolutely crazy. So 3 rappers out of Detroit were headed out to a show. The show was canceled and they never made it back home. They disappeared. They went missing. All I could think was, where's Corbin? From never mind. That's y'all know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. Wayz know what I'm talking about. Wayz, you know what I'm talking about? We can't hear you.
Wayz is muted.
Wayz got his big head on right now.
I said I would hope, but I don't really for sure know.
Oh no. Okay, so that was from that Jacksonville, when the Jacksonville rappers songs, the one with Fulio, and they be saying, "Then we got shot, got shot. Corbin got his bag in the bag. He was riding. Where's Corbin?" Well, that's what happened to Corbin, and Corbin was kidnapped, and they found his bones in a bag like years later, his decomposed body in a garbage bag years later.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so that's who they were talking about in that song, and they said, "Where's Corbin?"
Okay.
So that's why that was the first thing that came to mind. I'm like, did these niggas get kidnapped? How they get? There's one thing they got Corbin, but they got 3 niggas.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Uh, it's very interesting though. They did find them, by the way. I don't know if y'all know this part.
Yep.
Okay, so they found them in the basement of an abandoned apartment building, just yesterday. Up the bodies of Amani Kelly, Dante Wicker, and Montoya Givens are the real names. And there's a video that surfaced. Are you familiar with this video?
No,
No.
I didn't hear about that.
Okay, so Amani Kelly, who was the leader of the rap group, he went Facebook Live, and he is talking some shit. And he's talking about the guy he was in jail with, and he's talking about the snitches, and he's dropping names. And it's crazy because he was like, I ain't gonna say no name, blah, blah, blah. And he said, but Debo Slight, Debo something, and then he said, I said Debo, and then he dropped Debo's government name. Then he started talking about rah rah, and he dropped his government name. He started dropping names. He's calling people snitches. He's talking about who told on who. And then these niggas came on with him, and it got real weird because they all wearing masks, ski mask. You can't remember their eyes. And they started talking like the boy was like he got offended because he showed him his Call of Duty shirt. He's like, man, I don't play no video game. He's like, no, I'm talking real life. It's real life. This ain't just there's no video game. And he was getting offended by it. And it was like a third person in the room with them that they was referring to, but wasn't. That dude never came on camera. So it was a very weird moment when he brought these other guys on the camera with him, on the live with him. So if you ever get a chance, you got to check it out. I was going to run the audio so that y'all could hear it, but to see it and hear it is not the same.
Right.
Right.
If you go to the What Up Doe Show Facebook page, it's there. As there's a story though, but you gotta. I don't. Matter of fact, I probably didn't post it. It was a YouTube video that I saw, and it was kind of long, so I might not have posted. I will post it. I'll put it there.
Okay.
I'll put it there. So by the time anybody sees this video, go to the What Up Doe Show Facebook page, and you'll see it. And you kind of skip through. It's a cool video because it's a guy. He's like a hood reporter, and he just kind of gives some real talk on some shit.
Right.
It really breaks it down for the hip impaired, for the people that don't know what it's like in the hood. He breaks it down for you to understand. And he plays this whole Facebook Live in its entirety. And then he goes back and recaps it. Some things that if you didn't notice, that if you in the hood, you noticed it. If you're a hood, you recognize it.
Right.
But it's very weird, man. It's a very weird story. And I don't know if you guys have any thoughts. I just kind of followed the story closely because it was here and it made national news. But I don't know if you've heard anything differently or you had anything to add.
No, I haven't heard anything different. But man, it's another case of what you do on social media can end your life or ruin your life.
And you know what? I kind of agree with that. Well, when you see this video, he was into some other shit. It seems like he was into some other shit.
Right.
It was more than social media. He just happened to be on social and when he was talking, but shit he was talking. I mean, he evidently it was a guy that just got out of jail that he was in jail with.
Right.
He was talking about and I mean, like my man said, snitches don't mean they bitches.
Nah. No.
A snitch will kill your ass, especially when you putting him out on Front Street. When you're calling him out, you're exposing him as a snitch. A snitch will knock you off.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And here's a better way to put it. It's not the no snitching case in this one, but loose lips sink ships.
I like Big Ed because he just love to do cliches. And he pull out the oldest cliches in the book and just run them down. And it's like he said some profound shit. That's what. Uh, Wade, you got any input, man? Anything you want to add, or?
uh, I'm kind of just over the whole. This is something that's kind of plagued the communities for a long time, and it's not even just a hip hop thing, a gag thing. It's just the way it. That's just how it is. I'm just over it.
Where's Corbin? So, all right, I'm gonna roll past that one, and this one I'm gonna let y'all do a lot more talking on, because the biggest story of the year so far has been the story of Tyree Nichols, who was slaughtered and beat to death by 5 Memphis police officers. Everybody's familiar with the story by now. Of course, we haven't been doing the show, so that's why I'm bringing up this what's quote unquote old news, but it also is old enough news for us to all have an opinion, for us to all have seen enough, know enough about it to speak to it intelligently. Wayz, this time I'm gonna open the door for you first, and open the floor to you first. I should say and say where are you at on this?
uh, I don't know. This one's very reminiscent to when it came to George Floyd and the repercussions it had societally. Um, at the same time, you got groups of people that's saying, well, it, trying to make it a kind of a political thing because it was 5 black officers instead of white doing it. They're missing the point that our fight has never been about the race of the officer. It's been about the officers and the way the system is ran. Right. And as far as I'm concerned, this is a perfect example of a systemic thing.
And I want to speak to that real quick because um and I think this one opened the door a little bit for the other side to understand, because they've always made it about black and white, and I've always said, and my white counterparts, I always tell them it's not about black and white, it's about black and blue.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And they couldn't never grasp that because it was always white officers and the black assailant, right? The black victim and the white officers. So they couldn't see past the black and white. And I'm like, no, it's black and blue. And I hope that more of them can see that now. And of course, our people are saying, "Oh, y'all quick to jump up on them now that they black." But it's while there's truth to that, I hope it's bigger than that. I hope it means they get the point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That it's not about black and white, it's about black and blue. And I hope moving forward they get the point with that. Big Ed, what's your take?
My wife came across a part of this story that hasn't been corroborated and hasn't been out in the news much, but apparently in some news story there was a report that Tyree Nichols was seeing one of the officers' ex-girlfriends. And it looks like that makes it look like it was a personal vendetta. And somebody using their power as an officer to carry out that vendetta.
So I came across that too. In fact, you originally you used to find that on the What Up Doe Show page. I took it off of the What Up Doe Show page because the stepfather of Tyree Nichols made a statement to say that wasn't true.
Okay.
And he asked that we not buy into the rumors. Don't buy into the rumors. Don't spread the rumors. Just take this at face value. These cops were wrong, and
Yeah.
don't
Okay.
muddy the waters with the rumors. And so, therefore, and me being someone that was guilty of spreading the rumors, because it was all over the Up Doe Show, and I was all in hook, line, and sinker, like this dude, and got 4 other cops sent to prison, and they should have whooped his ass.
Right. Exactly.
But his stepfather, and that's not to say that it's not true, but the fact that his stepfather
Right.
said that it's not, I said, you know what, I'm just gonna respect it, even if he's wrong.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just
Right.
respect his wishes and say, okay, I'm gonna take it down. I'm no longer gonna spread that rumor. So I pulled it down.
Okay.
But I did see that. I did see that as well. But it wasn't a reputable story, though. It wasn't a reputable source. It was like Facebook memes, so to speak, started going around
Okay.
making this claim
Yeah.
that they both worked at FedEx. That he worked at FedEx with the guy's ex and baby mama. It's his ex and his
Yep.
baby mama, and they were dating. And so this was a personal vendetta. That's kind of what it was saying.
Right.
It looked legit. It seemed like it could have made sense, and I ran with it, and I took it down.
Okay.
Just to clarify that.
But
Go
even
ahead.
in that case, still, it's the overreach of police power.
Stream.
So, I'm that's all I got. I don't know.
Let me ask you this:
It's-
Did you
it's
see
been
the
hard.
video? Did you see the video?
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
You both saw the video.
Yep.
What did you take from it? What was what stood out for you? Now, did you see it uncut or did you see it censored?
I saw it uncut.
I can't remember which version I seen, but
Were they cussing? Did you hear the cussing?
oh yeah, they were cussing and everything.
Or did you hear the beep beep beep?
No, I didn't hear the beep beep beep. So I
Okay.
guess I did see the original. They didn't even announce themselves as police or anything. They just come up and just drag him out the car.
They started whooping.
He didn't even have a chance to do nothing.
I will tell you what I saw and heard from that. I saw a gang mentality out of these police officers. That was a mugging. That was just a flat out mugging. You listen to the tone in their voices. You listen to what they're saying, how they're saying it. That was a straight up mugging, as if they were little gangbangers.
Damn. Yeah, you're right. That was strong. That's strong, but you're right, man. That's a
Well, looking at their mugshots or their pictures, if they didn't have that blue uniform on, they'd be considered gangbangers.
pretty much, especially in that situation. Now, 3 of them were Q dogs.
What's that?
Omega Psi Phi. There's the frat. They were Q dogs. 3 of them were Q dogs. And Omega Psi Phi has revoked their fraternity memberships.
As they should.
Yep.
So they're no longer Qs. A few more things came out of this video though.
Okay.
One, there was another angle from another camera that's in the sky, because the original is like a body cam, and
Yep.
but there's this camera in the sky with another angle, and there was some interesting shots from there where the one officer was saying hold him down and walked up and kicked him in his head like he was kicking a football
Yep.
twice.
I saw that. Yeah.
But another interesting thing was there were 3 more people on the scene.
A white officer and 2 paramedics.
White officer and 2 paramedics. Now, how would you feel if you are, and they were from state, there was a state police, right? The white officer was a state police
Yep.
officer
Yep.
from state police.
And he's actually been fired too.
Yeah, because imagine this though. How would you feel if you are the police captain there, and this dude didn't say nothing to you? You knew nothing about this until you saw the video. I cut on the news, and there your ass is on the scene. Now you got my department wrapped up in this bullshit, and you never came, and you didn't get ahead of it.
Right.
You didn't come to me ahead of time and say, "Bro, these dudes, I wanted to help, but I didn't want to get in it because, but they beat this dude to a pulp."
Yeah.
Man,
that would have been a perfect opportunity for him too.
To jump in and play.
You're the white officer on the scene, and you jumped in to stop the brutality.
He could have played hero, and he would be all over. He would be a national hero right now. Everybody would love him.
Yep.
Instead, he's another goat with a lowercase g. Not the greatest of all time, but a goat. The old way they meant goat. Now you out of there.
Damn.
Because you did nothing but stood by and didn't even report it.
Right.
Your boss had to find out watching a video on TV. He couldn't on CNN. And there your ass is.
Yeah.
Same with the paramedics.
Yep. They really needed to be fired because their job is to save people. And they waited 20 minutes.
They were the ones to say, "Enough, fellas. Y'all about to let me look at this dude. It looks like y'all killing this man."
Yeah.
Yeah, that was something else that came. That was something else. And they're all charged. So all 5 of them are charged with murder, correct?
Yep.
I believe so.
And nobody got their back.
No.
No one has their back. Fox News are blasting you.
Mm-hmm.
Fox News is out here blasting you. The news channel that always got the cops back ain't got yours.
Right.
Nope. And that's where we get back to the original, a previous point that was made that, would Fox News be the same way if they were white cops? Or are they on our side this time because it's black on black? Because it's black cops.
I think they on our side this time because it's black on black.
However, even with that, will they get the message that it's black and blue, not black and white? Or is it just always going to them be black and white? And that's what black people fear.
I think it's always going to be black and white to them.
And I'm going to let that roll and move on. But y'all need to know that Big Ed is a staunch Democrat and he hates Fox News. So he can't give us Wayz. What's your thought? Because I don't. No.
As long as they have people like Tucker Carlson and Sean Hannity there.
See, that's why
it's going to be the same thing.
That's why I'm trying to stop you. That's why I'm trying to stop you now. Wayz, I want to hear from you because Big Ed does not have a subjective bone in his body when it comes to this. He can't speak objectively. He's totally biased.
I got lost trying to figure out what was being said at that point after you started. What did you ask again?
So my question is, I was saying that they see it. Fox News doesn't have these guys back, and a lot of what black people fear is that they just see it, they just see it as black and white. They don't see it as black and blue, right? So I guess the question was, will they see it differently, or is it just in this case and only because these officers are black?
I don't think they'll see it differently until certain circumstances were to happen, where there is a person that has a white person that has the same scenario that happens to them by white officers, and they just so happen to fit the same demographic as the general Fox viewer. That's when I think it might hit them, and they'll pay more attention to it. But until then, I don't think they'll really change anything.
But that doesn't change anything. That's
No.
still saying the same thing. That's still saying the same narrative that they only care because they don't care about it being cops beating blacks. They only care about black and white, not black and blue. They don't care about the fact because they always side with they normally side with the cops.
Mm-hmm.
But in this case, they're not.
Yeah.
And black people are under the belief that it's because these cops are black and not because these cops are wrong. And you're saying the only way they see it different is if the victim is white, but that doesn't change anything. So you're saying that it doesn't change.
They'll change their narrative eventually.
But does it what change is if there's white cops and black victim, do they now not side with the cops just because they're cops and side with the cops because they're right, or side with the victim because the cops were wrong?
Yeah, that one's hard to say.
Yeah,
that was really hard to say.
But it is, and that's the issue that a lot of black people that the general black public has. Mm-hmm. Is that, are you siding with them now because the cops are black, or do you just actually see right from wrong, or do you see black and white still?
Right.
And Big Ed can't comment because he's never gonna he can't think objectively. He's got to think with his Democrat colored, his blue colored
Okay.
Right. And I like to look at things objectively because I don't wear red or blue glasses. My shit's purple. Because I hate no. Let me say this because I see wrong on both sides. I see bullshit from both sides. I see real shit from both sides. So I don't wear the glasses. I look at it. I look at it objectively, and I look at right from wrong and right. Period. I don't care if it is a Democrat or Republican. It doesn't matter to me. I don't live in that world. I did it one time and I left it because it doesn't make sense. It clouds judgment.
Yeah.
It clouds judgment. You can't be honest. All you can be is on your side. Right? If I side against my people, no, it's not about that.
But see, it ain't even like that for me with Fox News. No,
yes,
it's not. No, it's not. Because both of my dads told me one time, if somebody shows you who they are, believe them. And Fox has shown their colors.
All right, so that's that. So there it is. So he just contradicted himself. Is what he did there. He just contradicted himself. He said it's not about that to him, but then he said it's about that to him. So on to the next story. Another one, and this happened a short time after the Tyree Nichols story. Anthony Lowe in Huntington Park, California, both of his legs amputated. And had a run in with the cops, allegedly threw a knife at the cops, kind of some way, somehow hopped out of his wheelchair and was trying to get away. And they shot him dead.
The man ain't got no legs.
Yeah, which was why and no, I'm not trying to be funny, but it's gonna be kind of funny. But the headline said he tried to run from the cops. I'm like, change the headline and say he tried to get away. The man was not running from the cops. He doesn't have legs.
I mean,
You know, that editor was
You
like,
can't-
F it, man. F it.
Stop
you
saying
so damn lazy. You so damn lazy. You can't just run up and
and
tackle
catch
the
a motherfucker
motherfucker.
with no legs.
Right. He's not going to kick you while you're trying to handcuff him.
He's not getting. He can't run that fast. You can't.
Either he's going hip to hip like this, or he's walking on his hands.
Dude is he running on nubs? Look, the dude is running. If you can't catch, if you can't run fast enough to catch a dude running on nubs,
Oh,
I mean,
out there
you shouldn't
looking
be a
like,
cop.
out there looking
No.
like Patrick from SpongeBob.
You need to stay away from Dunkin' Donuts.
You shouldn't be a cop. You can't catch the dude.
Yeah, no. That
Yeah.
is, man.
Then lit him up, man. Shot this guy dead in cold blood in the street.
That's ridiculous.
That is absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
Big Ed over there FaceTiming with Bob.
No, I just had somebody call. He FaceTiming with nobody.
He over there FaceTiming with SpongeBob. Yeah, so I mean, I don't know what to say, man. I don't know. But you know
I'm
what?
telling you.
But that's another addition of the blue doing something wrong. Period.
To me, this is just too much at too short of a period of time. I have a feeling this is not going to be a fun year, much like how 2020 was not a fun year.
It is short time, right? Both incidents actually happened in January.
There's actually another story that came out, I believe it was today, where a guy got shot by the police in Memphis. But he actually shot at the police too, so.
Well, yeah, we can pass on that one. That one.
Yeah.
That's one that Fox News will side with the cops.
Yeah.
And I can't say they're wrong. I thought I saw something interesting. Damn, I wish I would have thought about it. I would have. Oh, damn, I wish I would have thought about it. I would have put that one on the show. I did not take this story down, but I feel like it deserves an audio clip. But Donald Trump made a video. He released a video.
Oh man.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I haven't heard it. I haven't seen it.
He went off, man. He went off on these. But he was talking about there's a law that allows parents to mutilate the genitals of transgender children. And he said, my day one, I'm getting rid of that. And I can't lie, man. I agree with the dude. When you're an adult, you do whatever you want to do. But as a kid, no, if you ain't trapped in no woman's body, motherfucker, you gonna be a boy until you old enough to do whatever you gonna do on your own. But as long as you're my child, I'm not making that decision for you. You're a minor. You're a minor, so I'm not going to not allow. So for him to say we're not going to allow that with a minor, that's basically because we got some crazy people out here. We got some mixed up adults.
Yeah.
That can say the kid don't want to be a transgender. The kid thinks he knows he's a boy, want to be a boy, and like bitches. And you gonna make the decision to cut his dick off. No. You know what I'm saying? If the law allows for it, what's to say that a parent can't force it on a child as opposed to it just being something the child wants? So I agree with him on that, man. I agree with him on that. I can't lie. That's if it's one thing he was smart enough to put that out as his message, because he's going to get a lot of people to bite and say you're right. Go
Yeah,
ahead,
and
yeah. Your thoughts. Let's hear from MSNBC.
no, this ain't coming from MSNBC because
Okay,
I ain't even got
yeah.
cable.
No. If you are in MSNBC, you are the
But-
MSNBC angle.
I don't know a doc. I can't believe there's a doctor in the world that would do that under that situation.
How do you know?
I don't know.
I'm saying,
But how
you're
do
the doctor. If you're the doctor, how do you know?
the kid will tell you?
Not necessarily.
Oh, bullshit.
I'm gonna bullshit my ass. Most scared of a doctor than he is of his parents. If the person that he got to go home to, you think the person that he's going home with doesn't scare him more than his doctor? You out your rabbit ass mind. You ain't been around then. You ain't paying attention.
I don't think there's a doctor in the world that'll do that under those type of circumstances.
How would the doctor know?
You could tell from the kid.
No, you can't. You can't tell shit. You can't tell shit. Kid ain't paying his bill.
Then the doctor ain't worth a damn.
Kid ain't paying his bill. You don't know. You don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But there are certain vibes that a person gives off when something's wrong.
Really?
Yeah,
That's
So you think that's 100%?
I do. Yeah.
Then you're the one that is, I'm glad you ain't a doctor. You're the one that don't get it. That it don't work like that, man. It don't work like that. Trust me. I've been to court. I've been to court fighting for custody, fighting for just parenting time, and sitting in front of a quote unquote judge or mediator or whoever, whatever his or her title is.
I have too.
When a kid's sitting in there who's more afraid of the mother he's got to go home to than the father that he doesn't have to go home to, he's not going. They're going to judge against you. It's not the kid. They don't get the vibe that the kid is only saying what he's saying because he's scared that what mom's gonna do when I get home if I don't say what mom wants me to say.
Right.
You out your mind. If it's minors, man. You mean a doctor won't do that? You out your mind. Wayz, what's your again? He just can't. There's the guy that can't have an objective thought when it comes down to it. Wayz, did you see this video, Wayz, by chance?
I have not seen this video. I can only really express how I feel on the subject, but yeah, I haven't seen the video. As far as the
I've seen the video.
Wayz is talking. Okay, if you don't mind.
But otherwise, when it comes to the surgery portion of it, I'm indifferent. I don't have an opinion on that because it is not my choice to make.
But if it were
my choice,
yeah, because we're talking about minors. So if we're talking about it's your kid, it is your choice. If your kid wants to have this procedure, it's your choice whether or not this kid has a procedure because they're not an adult. They don't make the decision. The parents do.
right. I tell them they have to wait till they're adult and they can make that decision at that point, but I'm not paying for it. That's my personal view on it. But I'm not going to say my personal view needs to be the same kind of law or legalities that goes for others. If someone wants to do that, they can't afford it for their family. They're going to go find another way to do it and might as well have a professional here keep your child alive by not botching it too terribly. So when it comes to outside of myself, my family, I'm indifferent. It's up to them.
Okay. So because there's two thoughts on this to me, and Big Ed, we can hear you crunching your
Like a
whatever.
bug.
Sorry.
I thought, bro,
Sorry.
you chewed on concrete?
This is the last episode, folks. I hope y'all enjoy it. Not doing this no more, man. This is crazy. So the idea that minors can make this decision, or parents got to make the decision for minors, and that the reason it bothers me is that kids change. And when you're adult, you want to make that decision for yourself. That's just fine. But B, adults are not if you got a couple, we're a gay couple, we went out of our way to marry each other and we adopted a kid, but we want our kid to be a girl, but it's a boy. And so we're going to make the kid a girl. No. Right. There's something inherently wrong with you being lawfully able to do that to this child. If this child is a boy and want to be a boy, why are you forcing it on him? As much as they force shit on our kids already, Ernie and Bert are fags now. Give me a break, man. They forcing so much on us. You mean to tell me they wouldn't force that on something? No, man. You can't trust grown-ups. I don't trust grown-ups with that, man. I don't do it. I don't. I see too much. I just see too much. So in this particular subject, I'm on his side. I got him. I got his back. I agree with him wholeheartedly, 100%. So do you, Big Ed, are you saying you don't agree with him?
No, I'm not saying I don't agree with them, but like Wayz said, it's not my business.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I'm making it your business because it's a situation that could.
I wouldn't allow it. I wouldn't do it, but I can't speak for the next person.
So you think it would be okay for if a twisted-minded couple decided they want to do this to their child?
No.
You're okay with that?
No.
So what? I mean, but you said it's not your. But you feel like you can't have a decision, an opinion because it's not your place. See, you playing. See what this is what's happening, folks. This is what's happening. There's a situation where he can't quote 100% disagree, so he's gonna take no stance.
I'm not taking no stance
all the time. He's not gonna take a stance because he's finding himself in agreement with the Republicans. Donald Trump of all, on top of that, just can't bring himself to do it, so he'll just have no opinion.
But see, okay, here's another instance of somebody.
So he's just gonna sit on the sideline and be a sheep.
Here's another instance of somebody cherry picking the video.
Okay,
let's put it that way.
Go ahead.
Because he said a hell of a lot of other shit in the video too. That I do not agree with.
Or maybe you saw a different video than me. I only saw a video addressing that one particular topic.
Oh no, because then you didn't see the whole video.
I didn't see the whole video.
Because in the whole video,
and I didn't see the whole video, and that's why I'm not talking about the whole video. I saw that one, a clip of that video. The clip I saw was on that one particular topic, and on that one particular topic, I 100% agree.
Okay, I ain't gonna lie, I can agree with that on that particular topic. But get a hold of the rest of the video. Watch the rest of the video.
Next topic. Okay. I'm not interested in it. I'm not interested in seeing the rest of the video because I was just on the internet surfing and I saw that. I saw that clip. If something else is interesting enough for them to post it, then I'll watch it. But I didn't see. I saw what was put in front of me. But I'm not seeking out fucking political shit. I don't care who's talking. I don't seek it out. I don't care. But it was in front of me. It was there. It was interesting, and he was right. That's all. That's what I saw. So I'm not. I didn't seek out. I'm not seeking out the rest of it because I don't. I'm not interested enough to seek out the rest of it. I just don't. So I don't know what other topics he covered and this and that.
Okay.
But if you cared enough to watch the whole thing, you are falling into the trap. If you care enough to watch the whole thing, you've fallen into the trap.
Okay.
That's what all I'm saying. One last story, man. One last story, and then I'll get out of here, man. I didn't even plan to talk about that. That just happened. That just happened.
It just happened.
It did. It did. That happened. But speaking of Donald Trump, we got a Trump supporter that made the news. And yes, I know, but it happened a day after we recorded the showdown. Tom Brady called it quits. Tom Brady has retired. And I'm telling it today because Tom Brady is bigger than football and is not going to save it for Tuesday.
No.
What's your thoughts? Is it real? Is it real? Is it Memorex? What did you think about the video? I just want to hear all of it. I want to hear from Wayz because I'm tired of hearing Big Ed bullshit right now.
All right. I think he's legit. I think he's gonna start to embrace that career with Fox because the tone, everything, it sounded like he was ready to be done. He realized he has one of the worst seasons he's had in a long time, and he didn't want to take the chance of ending on a really bad note. He got his team to the playoffs. They lost, whatever. He can still hang his hat. So I think he's done.
All right, let's hear from the peanut gallery.
I heard the finality in his voice. Last year he was still kind of hemming and hawing about it, but this year he said, I'm done. I'm done.
I thought he sounded a little final, but it didn't look final because he had a good enough season to say, I got one more in me. Last year, I thought he sounded sincere, but I knew deep down when he thinks about it, he had a good enough year for him to reconsider. He didn't have that year this time.
No.
This was not a good enough year to say, I got one more in me. This was a bad enough year to say, if I try this again, it's going to really get ugly.
Yep.
It can really get ugly if I try this one more time.
Yep.
By the way, Big Ed owes me a crown because he got me to the playoffs.
I got you.
So there's some other storylines within this storyline. So I'll just ask the question. Who goes to Tampa Bay now? What does Tampa Bay do for quarterback?
Derek Carr.
Wayz, what's your thoughts?
I think they might as well make a move for Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers got caught on a golf course to do an impromptu answer some press conference, so to speak. He had to answer some questions. And somebody posed a question about, put up the idea about him potentially going to San Francisco.
Mm.
And Aaron Rodgers had 5 words to say. I'm not going to San Francisco. I'm not going to San Fran. That was his whole statement on that. That was that. So, but I just thought that was funny. That's why I brought that up. Aaron Rodgers would be interesting. What What if they just decide to start over and go to the draft and just start over? Move some
It's a good
guys
time.
around, move some guys around on that roster, get some more draft capital, and
If you're
maybe
gonna,
get Justin Fields.
if you're planning to start to build that team up again, start from the bottom up. The best way to do it is for them to get the best draft capital possible, and that's to put Mike Evans on the market.
Yeah, Mike Evans and Godwin probably potentially, at least one of them. You don't have a quarterback. What you need all these good receivers for?
It's going to take one of them, a defensive pick, and a defensive player, and probably a third or fourth round pick for them to get the number one pick.
Do they need the number one pick though?
They don't need the number one pick. They just need a quarterback, and there's plenty of them for the first round.
Do they need a number one pick?
No,
they don't need number one.
Let me just say this: that's such a misnomer that you got to have a number one pick to get a quarterback. Where did Chicago get Justin Fields? Number 1, 2,
11.
Thank you. Where did the Chiefs get Pat Mahomes? 1,
10,
2. Okay, all right. Where did the Philadelphia Eagles get Jalen Hurts? Was it 1, 2?
I can't remember what Jalen.
The second round. Okay, so you don't have to have the number one pick.
Yeah.
You don't. All you have to do is build some more draft capital to get multiple picks. You'll find a way to get you a quarterback. Just anybody that you feel like, get you a quarterback that you can build on. I mean, where did Pittsburgh get Pickett? 1? Was it 2? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it doesn't have to be. You don't. There's a big misnomer. Where did New England find Tom Brady? 1,
6th round,
2. Okay, I'm just saying. Where did Seattle get Russell Wilson? Was it 1? Was it no 3rd round? It's not. It's a major misnomer that you got to have a number one pick to get a quarterback. That's bullshit.
Yeah, don't even need a top 20 pick with this draft. The draft that we have coming up here.
Yeah, if that, I mean, but you want multiple picks just because if you're in rebuild, you need more than a quarterback. That's that's my whole thing.
And the receivers they got are nice this year.
Yeah, and the receivers on Tampa Bay are aging, so it's time for them to. They probably don't want to sit around for a rebuild.
No,
move them, get more draft capital, and get young and start over. It may be time to start over. You got a ring.
Yeah,
you got a ring. So let's start over because right now we screwed ourselves trying to run it back.
Yeah,
we need to move some of that money out of here. Move some of that money around. Get some of these big ass contracts out of here and start young. Start over and get young.
Yep.
It might be a way to go for them, or unless they want to, because what is Derek Carr going to do for them? Honestly,
nothing.
Be serviceable. Really?
Is he going to get him to the big one?
No.
Is he the missing piece?
No.
I don't see it. So I would, if I was them, it's time to just pack your bags and start again. Say thanks, Tom, but now it's time to start it over. I think that's a real option for them.
Yeah.
Another storyline there is when did he record this video? When do you think he recorded this video?
I assumed it was.
I thought it was Tuesday morning.
Yeah, I assumed it was right before he uploaded it.
No, it's not. It's impossible. It's impossible. It was Wednesday morning, by the way. Big Ed.
Wednesday.
It was released Wednesday morning. Yeah, it was. We did the show Tuesday night, of course.
Yep.
We would have talked about it, so it had to be Wednesday. But no, it's impossible. It couldn't have been done that morning. It's impossible.
Okay.
He was in California. This video was uploaded 8 o'clock in the morning. This video was uploaded 8 o'clock in the morning. In California, that's 5 a.m. It was still dark outside.
Yeah.
It was daylight when he recorded it. It was not dark outside, so it couldn't have been done that morning.
maybe the night or evening before.
I mean, it was definitely done in the daytime.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was done during the daytime.
It was done during the day. So the question is, how long did he know he was going to do this and just decided time to upload this and go ahead and make it a call of the day?
Right.
He
And
probably
is that
knew.
significant?
He probably knew halfway through the season. This is it.
Oh, I don't buy that.
Yeah, I don't know about that. He
No, I
had
don't
too
buy it.
much fire. He was way too competitive for him to already settle like that on it.
Yeah, he thought, well, if I can get us in the playoffs, we can probably win one. I don't think he gave up.
Yeah.
I don't think he gave up that early. No, it definitely. I think it was definitely after the loss. But how soon after the loss is curious to me. Did he call it? Was it the day after or a couple days after? He was just like, "That's it, I'm done,"
Yeah.
and then said, "Nah, let me hold off. I ain't gonna put this out there yet."
Right.
Let me think about this time. This time, let me think about this before I put it out there. That's why I think it's final. That's why I believe it's final, because he thought about it before he posted it.
Yeah.
He gave himself a moment and said, "Okay, I recorded it. I said it. Let me hold off. Let
Right.
me be sure this time." And I think then he came to the realization that it was time and put it out there. Very
Yeah.
interesting stuff.
Yeah.
Now I don't remember him getting as emotional the last time.
He was
Last
more
year.
emotional. He was more emotional last time, actually.
Oh,
He
I
said it
thought
in
he
this
was.
video. He
I
even
thought he
said
was in
it.
this one.
Oh yeah, no, he even said it in this video. You get one long emotional goodbye, and I wasted it on last year. So I'm not gonna do that again. We'll make this one short and sweet. And he didn't plan to get emotional on this one, but you heard his voice crack.
Yeah, you can
Yeah.
hear it.
Yeah, you heard his voice crack, and he got it off. So, is he the GOAT?
Now that he's retired, and I actually believe he's 100% officially retired, I am willing to say he is the GOAT of quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Is he the GOAT of all sports? Oh, let me rephrase that. Is he the
He's
GOAT of all? Is he the GOAT of all team sports?
I he's in the talk obviously, but I don't know if I could put him at number one.
To me, that goes to Bill Russell.
I'm not going there. I'm not even putting Bill Russell. Nope, not even close.
What? Okay.
Mm-mm. 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 Who you put there, Wayz? If you say he's not number one, who you put there?
The obvious pick is Jordan. Um, yeah, I'd go with the obvious Jordan.
And I get that argument. I get, and I've been hearing that a lot. Um, and I tell you why I put Tom Brady. I'm going to pick Tom Brady, and I'm going to tell you why. Because he played for Michigan, bitches. No, no, no. I'm going to put it this way. I'm an avid 49er fan, as you both know.
Mm-hmm.
And for a long time, I held up the argument that is Joe Montana over Tom Brady. And I've given that up because there's no more argument about Montana over Brady. Brady he kept winning.
Yep.
I had to give it up and say, you know what? Tom got him. But LeBron fans still got a case against Jordan. Whether you agree or not, you have to admit LeBron fans still have a case against Jordan. When Joe Montana fans like myself no longer have a case against Tom Brady.
Yeah.
That's why I put Tom Brady over Jordan. For that reason right there. Because while we can say Jordan the GOAT of all sports, there's still debate whether or not he's the GOAT of his.
Yeah. But at the same time, I can't. There's one other person I put in front of Tom Brady, and it's for the same reason I put Jordan right in front of Tom Brady. Is they attempted to prove that they're not just the greatest at their sport, but at another, and that's Deion Sanders.
Um, expand on that, because you lost me with the.
That's a new argument that I haven't heard before.
No, but he kind of lost me with because Jordan didn't try to prove he was best in both sports, and he certainly didn't prove that.
No,
not in baseball.
He didn't even make the majors in baseball.
But he at least gave it a shot professionally.
Yeah, but he did it because of extra circumstances, not because he was good at the game. He didn't even make the league. He didn't make he never made the Major League Baseball. He never made the Major League. Deion, you got a point, but not with Jordan. He was minor league baseball.
I wish Bo Jackson's career would have been longer.
Me too.
Because we could have put him in this argument.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. As far as two sport athletes, it's Bo Jackson and Deion, and there's nobody else in the conversation as far as I'm concerned.
Nope.
And because those two they were in the Major League Baseball. They made league and made impact on the league.
Yeah.
You know, they were ballers out there. Jordan didn't do that. Jordan
I'd actually put Deion ahead of Bo. But that's because of the longevity of the careers.
You put Deion ahead of Bo. I put Deion ahead of Bo as a football player. Yes.
Okay.
As a baseball player, it's very close because Bo was a monster.
Yeah.
I don't know if y'all baseball fans like me.
But wasn't he a first baseman?
This dude could hit the ball out the park. He could hit the hell out that baseball. Now Deion wasn't no slouch. Don't get me wrong.
Oh no, he was a hell of an outfielder.
That Deion could play his ass off,
and he did.
He could play his ass off, and he's coaching his ass off.
Oh yeah.
No, Deion, where he impressed me when it came to baseball is the fact that less than 24 hours after a football game, he was out there playing baseball
and balling
in the World Series, wasn't it?
Yeah, he went to the World Series. That was I mean, so in that case, with that, if you throw that component in, Deion's the GOAT of athletes. But but he was the best. He was the GOAT cornerback, but was he the GOAT football player? He was a great baseball player, but is he even in the conversation of being the GOAT in baseball? That's where I find it hard to use that as a component in the argument, but I get it. It's a really good, really intriguing argument.
Yeah.
But I certainly don't I won't use that to give Michael Jordan any credit because he was trash in baseball. Just because you played and couldn't play don't mean that I've got to give you props.
Right.
I mean, I watched him. I watched him miss pop-ups out in center field.
Yeah. Didn't he lead the league in strikeouts when he was playing?
No, that was Tebow. But I mean, is Tebow the GOAT because he played baseball? No,
hell no, hell no.
So I mean, but just because he didn't play pro in another sport didn't mean he was good in another sport. I mean, Tom Brady was a basketball player as well. So.
Well, he was also drafted by the Montreal Expos. He was actually the last player drafted by the Montreal Expos.
Okay, he was Mr. Irrelevant. Him and Purdy got a lot in common. So anyway, man. So what's next for Tom Brady? My last question, and then I'm out of here. What do you think? Let me finish the damn question.
Okay, go ahead,
Mr. Ed. How do you think he'll be as a broadcaster, as a commentator? Do you think he'll do well, or do you think he's gonna be trash?
If he doesn't try to be Tony Romo, he'll do well.
I think he's personally, I think he's going to do better than Tony Romo because he understands that position, and defense is way better than just about any other quarterback in the history of the league.
I think it's going to be interesting to watch. He doesn't seem to have this glowing personality.
Unless you're on the field with him. From what I hear, he gives Jordan a run for his money.
I don't know. I've caught a couple of his podcasts, and he seems like he'd be a pretty good broadcaster. He's personable with the people that he has on his podcast. He knows where to hit them, where to pull back. You know what I'm saying? I think he'll make a pretty good broadcaster.
Okay.
If he doesn't try to get too technical with it, like Tony Romo does.
Tony Romo's doing great though.
I was just gonna say that's the appeal of Tony Romo. Tony Romo opened the curtain as for quarterback speak.
Yeah, Tony is killing the game right now.
I don't know. I just read a couple news reports that said that they tried to pull the reins back on Tony a little bit.
You hate him or love him. Tony made a name for himself up there. He's doing it. They love him. So that's why he's still doing it.
It's Tony Romo's fault when they say commentator or announcer bad luck. Because he'll call play exactly the way it's going to be because he saw it the way it was going to happen. And so they started to say he cursing the players.
But Tony's doing great, man. Tony found a niche. Tony found a niche, and was able to do something that nobody else is doing, and he does it pretty well. And he found a niche. So Tony's, I mean, you can. I know you hate the Cowboys and all of this, but you know, with your personal feelings aside, Tony's doing a great job. Glad it's kept. Tony's doing a great job. So if he can, I don't want him to be. He has to be himself, though. That's everybody. Has to be themselves. So that goes without saying. You don't want to be anybody, but you're saying it like Tony is doing a bad job.
I just thought of something. You know who else is under contract at Fox? Gronk.
Yeah, but he's not an announcer or commentator. He's a personality.
I don't know. Man, what if you put Tom and Gronk in the booth together?
I'd rather see Tom and Romo.
I don't know. I don't know how they're going to use him. I don't know if he's going to be on the set with the guys like Gronk is, or in the booth with like Aikman. But I just think it'll be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. He's getting the big dollars to do it, though. But
yeah,
curious to see how it plays out and how he does and how they use him. So. Anyway, man, I'm gonna call it quits on that point, man. It was I enjoyed the show, even though it was for the most part, we talked about some serious topics. We let Big Ed talk about some bullshit politics. Want to thank y'all for joining us, man. If you like what you see, I'm your boy OG Tim Wilson. This is the Nasty Boys, Big Ed and Wayz. This is the What Up Doe Show on the What Up Doe Show Radio Network, and we are happy to have you. Good to have you back, and I will catch y'all until next time. Peace out, press your crease out, keep the police out while I bust his niece out, and I'm out of here like last year.
Oh, and in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
Just need to clear my mind. Just need a